Just like came along on Nas Culture Day. It was the 85%. We're here in the Heritage House in Medina, having a Medina Rally, and we have a slow attendance because they have traffic problems because the major trains are not running. But regardless, Gaza Earth is still coming out, you know. So I just want to introduce and let the round circle begin. Peace. Go ahead, go. What you saying?
Well, I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry, man. Let's go to somebody else talk about something.
But the thing is, you know, as God said, today is knowledge culture. So once you knowledge your culture, your being, see, because it starts with you. Once you knowledge your culture, your being, you begin to see things on a realistic form. The development process, that's where I was at, the development process.
There you go, God.
Right? From the time being conceived in the womb, it was going through a transition. And we go through transitions every day of our life. Whether the transition is education, whether the transition is housing, whether the transition is relationships, we go through transitions in life. And in these transitions, there's growth, there's development, there's disappointment, there's failure, all in the growth process. It's like, my mom used to tell me, if you fall, you better get back up. Dust yourself off and continue what you're striving to do. Riding the bike, I fell many times. Get up, do it again. So trial and error is a part of transition in life. And what we got to do is realize the transition, man and woman, positive and negative, had a transition. The transition of her getting a rib from man, transition. Peace, guys. Equalness in value. The value of man and woman, the equalness in value, is the reality of the positive, the negative, depending on each other. Like energy, positive and negative. Independent, but depend upon each other. Gives off sparks and frictions. Like man and woman gets together. Gives off sparks and frictions. Child, baby, universe, complete. Transition. And what we got to understand, the transition of life, having the knowledge of self. Now, we come into the realms of obligation, purpose, vision. All that comes in the realm of knowledge of self. Because everybody here got the knowledge of self from this nation. Nation can't do nothing for damn person in here now. It's what we do for the nation. Transition. Growth development. Making things tangible. Different time. Knowledge culture. We can't denounce the 85% because we got to teach them. We held responsible for those who do not know. MGT, GDC, first start from God. That's the first MGT. Come from God. Master God's understanding. Or master God's truth. God understanding, understood. So now when you look at yourself, knowledge and understanding, Father and Son being one of the same, what did the Father stand for? The children. That was his main objective. The youth. Transition. We got to do the same thing. Father and Son, one of the same. To denounce the Son is to denounce the Father. What we got to stop doing is bickering and trying to assassinate each other's character. Transition, once again. We got to stop the bickering, the arguing amongst ourselves, and just get things done because we are the most intelligent people on the planet. Because we have the knowledge of our what? Self. And when you know self, that's the best knowledge in the world. Because now you're responsible, knowing who you is. Now figuring out what is your purpose. Because everybody in here can't be teachers. Everybody in here can't be electricians. Everybody in here can't be plumbers. So you gotta find your niche and bring your niche to the table. Like the 5 senses: see, hear, smell, touch, and taste. When you got all those, you got the 5th. United we stand, divided we fall. What I want for myself, I want for my brother and my sister. Because inclusively, we are all one. Peace.
Okay.
Peace.
646 646 956
What you say, God?
0647.
Oh.
That's how it goes. Now it's culture, man. Now it's our culture. God, our culture is based on unity, on one mind, a lot of bodies, but one mind went out there. It said no beings are created to have such individuality that purely man seek to worship, but all but they will, and they will into one. So this ain't about putting your name on a project. It ain't about standing out, getting recognition for individual progress. It's got to be a nation progress. If a nation don't go anywhere, you ain't going nowhere. So this is what we always, the United States of America is based on, their culture is based on rugged individualism. It's pull yourself up by your bootstraps and so on. They deal with the science of, their culture deals with the science of competition. Civilization is based on cooperation, working together. That's the bottom line. That's the nation building. Because in competition, one stands out and the others are lower position. Maybe seeing themselves in a situation where one is over the other. And that is not civilization. That is not a nation. And we've been around these people, our people been up under this rulership for all these years. A lot of them don't realize the original culture is to be working together. Everybody wants to be on their own. Everybody wants that recognition, that ego. We getting it back to the way it's supposed to be. We got to understand there's 2 different cultures. Our people's up under this here culture of cultural understanding of European culturalism that says it's on me. I mean, on me meaning selfishness. When we say one individual, we say large one. The one that dwells within and in which that one in which we all dwell. One mindset. Many individual people, but one mindset. That's the unity. And God mentioned a fist. He said, a fist is stronger than the 5 fingers separated. We come together, we recognize how strong we are. Say the black man in America have enough knowledge and wisdom made dormant within the fortresses of his brain, that if it was ever activated, we could destroy all forces that oppose righteousness overnight. So this is what we want to express to all that within the ears shadow us. We got to come together. Don't look for no individual recognition from this, because you ain't going to get none. You know what I mean? It's looking at, we look at a lesson about the ants, and I'm going to finish with this. Ants, an ant, puny little ant, have been known to cross vast distances, even over waters. And the way they do it, they climb on each other's back. The ones on the bottom are going to drown. So be it so, that's right.
That's the sacrifice.
That's the sacrifice. But they get it what? Moving, they get across that land, that water land to the next sure, because they were together. They know nobody, like I said, nobody's were created to have that individuality that you seek to worship your individuality. That's not our culture. That's not what it's about. Our culture is based on co-operation. I mean, working together, co-being together, operating in the work.
Peace, dog.
Great up here embrace today's Supreme Mathematics is Lowry's Cultural Freedom. I heard something earlier a little while ago from Law Life. With the power that you have as God, show and prove to me where a woman got her rib from the man. Where'd you get that story from? The only place I know that come from is the Bible.
Listen to me, Queen.
I ain't never heard it nowhere else.
You got one more rib more than I got. That's so you can carry a child. Ask you fact.
That's not the
Look at
question
your
I
body.
asked. That's not the question I asked you. Show and prove that I got my rib from a man.
The fact is, you, woman, right, come from man. You in your creation knew that you had to have, we knew you had to have an extra rib to carry a child, mathematically.
So when
With the creation, listen, the creation of man and woman, you can't calculate the origin of that. However, when intelligence manifested the physical composition, it was already foreseen that you had to have an opposite or an extra rib to carry children.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this to you, and not being rude, but you've known me a long time. That sounds some spooky mathematics.
That's not spooky.
It is spooky. Bob.
No, it ain't.
Because you said I actually show and prove.
And I just
Tell
showed
me
you.
no, but let me ask you this. Let me
I
finish.
just showed you.
Where did, no,
I
no,
don't wanna
no.
argue
You
with
said
you.
it. You only said some words. You didn't show and prove
I
to
don't
me.
wanna, it's a natural makeup.
I don't know that. That's what you saying.
Okay, look at your body, look at his body.
And I have
see,
birth-
and
did
see
you
that
birth
he
each
got
other?
a certain amount of ribs and you got a certain amount
That
of
doesn't
ribs.
mean I got it from him. Who said that? Where'd you get that from?
I'm not.
All y'all guys sitting here, y'all know he didn't show and prove that. Won't y'all speak
Let's
up
go
and
to the
say
next
that?
one, next thing.
Go to-
Let's go, we can agree now.
And go to the
Let's go, we
PC.
can agree. Alright.
Don't shake him up and make him run now.
Where you go? Figure it out.
He probably got to go regenerate. I don't know.
Alright.
Well, education.
Good.
Today, mathematics lives coach, all being born in power. Right? In this month of Law Power, where I live, God peace. Right? We got to show off and prove as a nation that Allah's mathematics is not. You know, everything that we show and prove, we got to be shown and proved through application, right? That we can see it, not through just words. You know what I'm saying? I know and understand that a man's body is different from a woman's body. We all know that, right? However, you know, getting off that rib situation, right? That's the only time I heard it in the Bible too. But I know everything comes from the Son of Man, right? However, we talking about the nation that the Father bestowed upon us about us teaching the babies, which is the best part. My bill is this, right? We got to concentrate more so on the women and the church and the children because that's who we say we are. We say that we are the 5% or the nation of gods and earths. However, all I see is gods. I don't see no more earths and I see less children. And I remember years ago, we see more earths and more children. So that shows me that if we are the gods and we are coming from them, something ain't adding up. Because we're not multiplying. It seems like we subtracted. We're taking away that which we say that we multiply and we add on each and every day. You know? And I know without the wisdom, we can't have no nation. Because we can't make no babies. Regardless if it comes from the rib or from our sperm cells or whatever. If we can't unite with that black woman, we're not having no nation. and we don't have the black woman, what's the sense of me building what they like? Because, you know, Allah told us we got to teach the babies. Allah told us, man, why we outside arguing, fighting, killing each other when the babies is inside? Now we become elders and our children become, at the age when we first got now, something ain't right. Math is not adding up. When a lot of sisters is getting threatened, a lot of sisters is getting beat, a lot of sisters is going outside their names. Where is this coming from? We got to start checking each other and holding each other accountable. And more so, instead of being like, you know, giving them expiration things, just get rid of them, period. We got to start eliminating the dead fruits in our nation. Whether it's me, you, or whoever. If we're going to clean this up. Because we the last. A lot of my brothers, man, you know, they get sick, they dying in the hospital. You know, I've been having this nation over 50 years, man, and like, I don't even know who to call. I don't even know who to call, man. And it's sad to say me coming from now, why every time I come here, I'm always going through some BS, man, about my brothers and their activities when I was doing things like when we was young. You know what I'm saying? I got grandkids now. I get more peace and more understanding of what I taught when I was a kid, when I go abroad, than I see right here with the knowledge of where it came from. And the only thing that I give credit to, coming from Medina, is Medina gods is keeping it alive with the abundance and the magnitude in which we do it. Because we had to work extra hard. You know, before the Father gave his life and went back to the essence, he seen it was necessary for him to come to Medina, the lands of war, to protect this nation. Where's the protection? At one time, it's called the Goon Squad. Where's all that? If I'm wrong, I don't care if you my man and we go back 50 years and all. If I'm wrong, check me or exile me to get rid of the problem. Because the more you have knowledge in this nation and you continue to do that wickedness, the more pins you stick in this nation. And it don't take us to powder our nose and bending our elbows and say we the gods. Nah, it takes accountability. It takes accountability. Because our nation, of our earths, and our babies, lives depend on it. Because I want to be able to show and prove when I go abroad that I'm representing you, her, and being right and exact. I don't say, oh man, I just came from such and such. They don't teach that. They ain't like that. Nah. It makes my job hard. That's why me and my goal for development, me, put it on the eye. I had to stop doing a lot of things to show forth and prove. Because now I see further. Now I see the things that the Father saw before he went back to the essence when he in his 40s. See? I'm in my 60s, so now I'm living what the Father seen as the Father, not as the quality, but as the Father, with that understanding. So I'm born. And I'm going to continue to add on with what the Father gave me when I was in the alphabets, when I got knowledge, like I was building one earlier, and going through my physics degree of wisdom, equality, zigzag, and zig. I went through the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And a lot of times I got caught up in hell because I was a baby. I didn't understand a lot of things at that time. And I experienced it. I took my lessons. I took my weapons. You know, bad and good. The belly of the beast, all that. And all that was prescribed. All that the Father said we was going to go through. Right? But to go through it, to come out all right. Not to keep going through it over and over again.
Word.
When he looked in the mirror at 36, he said he seen Allah. A lot of us that come with me, we in our 60s and 70s. When we look in the mirror, what we see? Broken down individuals. Because they fell a victim to the drugs and all stuff that you know ain't right. But we say we the gods. We violating our sisters. I'm going across, man, state lines, man. A lot of brothers is violating our sisters. And my bill is this. Just make it born. And I'm going to come, man, and just do what I got to do. They violated my sister, my earth. And I just spoke to the brother. You know, I can't have that, man. If a brother dealing with a sister and they break up, let that be. If you say you the God, right, and you over that sun, moon, stars, and y'all break up, let it be. Don't get caught up in that wisdom or that weird. You know what I'm saying? And start threatening the sisters and having the sisters fear for their life.
No, they didn't say that.
Yes, you did. Go ahead, teach your bill, God. But God, teach your bill.
You know what I'm saying? Everything is real, dog. Everything is real. Our sisters is leaving us, man. Good sisters. Because one or two individuals don't like him because he did this and that. Come on, man. Come on, this shit is hurting me, man. It's hurting me, man. And since I just been doing the rounds, I ain't been saying nothing, man, because I feel, man, me coming from that while having the rounds here, I shouldn't have to keep going through the same thing over and over and over again, especially the brothers that I came up with. They see me all peace, God, but then as soon as I leave, they do the same old thing. Nah, man. Sometimes it's got to be brought to the light, and we got to all agree. We quick to exile two brothers when they want to harm each other. But when a brother harm a sister, it's okay. Slap him in the back. Oh, she's a B.I. or she this and she that. Nah, man. Nah. Everywhere else they protect our sisters, but here, look at the ride. Got one sister.
Only one. Two.
Right. And what's sad is that they bring it to the sister doing the work. You got sisters that have 85% of their men, and they still come and feed us and clothes and eat and aid the gods. But they go to another man. What kind of shit is that? That's backwards. But they holding on to that 7. They holding on to that degree on our supreme alphabet, which is knowledge God. They accepted that when they had knowledge of self. And they still bear witness, but they got the man because they treat her better. When the Lord came home from Madawan, you know what he said? He said, I see we really because he seen all the babies, he seen all the earths. It didn't nothing change. The best teachers, like firstborn Messiah said, is the ones who never seen the Father. They glorify him. What I've been seeing lately is a lot of brothers talking about, oh, I've been around the Father, and I did this, I held this cup, and did his cigarettes and all that, and I ain't never seen him before in my life. But a lot of our nation's so young, per se, that they can't put a finger and say, is he right or wrong?
Peace, brother.
So they get mesmerized because they got gray hair, right? And have age on them, and they think that they one of the first 9 borns of that generation. We used to say the second generation, whatever, and they sticking them pins in instead of pulling it out. And that's the job that I've been doing ever since I go up I-95, man. I don't even try to waste my bill with brothers in here because the first thing they want to do is make me bend my elbow and get me outside of my natural order, and then I be getting stumbling and all that when I was 16, 17. I don't want that life. I want us to have something, man, we can build, like I was telling you, God, like we have to, if you keep this will be better.
We're going to keep
that. When Mecca go, they're going to have to come down to Medina. Because when I was coming up, the only ones that was coming to now was Jersey and Philly and Mass. Now we're all over. And this is going to be right. One thing about the guards in Medina, we're going to check each other. They ain't going to come here with the BS. So when people come from abroad and come to now they're going to come to Medina and they're going to get this cultural. They're going to get the knowledge of what Allah taught, because a lot of us are still here. And we ain't never been on that BS. I mean, we fighting all that, but we got a big brother. And we abroad. We go places. I've seen y'all in other places. So we just like, we traveling there. One time, like, when I was first a young guard and was getting it from Allah Wonders, the first thing he did, when I was a young guy, right, was take me in my block, and then he took me from different sections of Medina, and then he took me to Mecca. First he took me to Mecca. Then he took me to Pelon, then Red Hook, and then Staten Island. And then I was old enough and wise enough to at least get to like the 1 to 36. I was able to travel these barrels, man, and hold my own. And my bill is now, man. Or we gonna end, man. I gave too much sacrifice, too much blood, too much tears, man. And I still cry, man. It might drip, but that don't mean I fell. It's just I can't hold it because it hurts so bad. The shit hurts. Oh, excuse me. It hurts. You know what I'm saying? And like I know a lot, a lot of times, I plug in to my brothers. They say knowledge, wisdom have attraction power on our planet Earth. I get that, right? But the scale of justice is a blind wisdom. Blind, she can't see. That's why she's tilted. But God is above the sun, moon, and star. So he's the balance. That's why within our universal flag and our history, everything is the coordinates of 360 degrees. Everything is in a format of a whole. That's why we don't destroy. That's why we don't delete. We constantly add on. And if you don't add on, I don't have to tell you. Because your mathematics is going to tell you. Because math comes from the science, high science. And that's what we learn. That's what we teach daily. And that's my view. Peace.
Peace. Rashid Universal. Well, knowledge, culture. I acknowledge the culture.
Hold on, man. God.
And I love the culture. That's where I get the truth from, the power. But my thing is that we as people, as a family, needs to be in a more communication with each other. We got to go back to the old school. Now we have technology that gives us the ability to reach out and be in tune with each other. So it's just that we just got to start doing things together, man. That's what it is. And when building, I don't see why anyone would take it personally to get out of. The sister asked a good question. And by being God, speaking about it, she asked to show and prove. So I don't know why would that get an individual out of himself to want to go hype. Listen, we takes a lot of things on statements. People say you can't eat if you can't eat. People say if your cake you can't eat it. It's my cake, I can eat it. But when the question is asked, shown and proven, just talking is not always the science of showing and proving. It sounds good, but the thing is to show and prove. If you can't show and prove, leave it alone. Don't get hyped and run away from the situation, because that didn't answer it. And from the bills we had, I love what the God said about the ants, man. We got to help each other to get where we going. And the only way to do that is that we got to be in tune, got to come out. A lot of brothers don't come, a lot of sisters don't come out because I've heard someone say that we say the same thing over and over and over. But what is like God said a long time ago, I heard a brother said, it's not what you could do for the nation. No, it's not what the nation is doing for you. What could you do for this nation? Yes. And being in your own square and away from this. If you ain't doing teaching, you have to be here, man. We have to put our time together, come out, support. Support is what it is. Say bring someone, but bring someone to hear what? My thing, you just don't bring people out of their own space to come to hear nothing. I could sit at home and teach them the same thing that's going on, man. But my thing is knowledge of culture. I love the culture. That's why if I didn't love the culture, I won't be here. Why you think I'm coming around y'all? Because I like y'all? I love the culture.
a way of life. And I love the people that I be around. That's knowledge culture to me, and that's the truth, you know. But when questions are asked, answers should be given. And speaking and not showing and proving is two different things, you know. You can say whatever you want to say. It sounds good, rotation and all that, but prove it. I don't know the science of anatomy. I don't even know if the woman has an extra rib. If I did want to know, I would do the research because of technology. I can go on the internet and look that up, but I don't know that. It sounds good, and I don't have a reason to question it because I'm satisfied with. If you said a woman had an extra rib, I don't know, but I'm sure that if I wanted to know if it was into me to figure it out, I would go do the research, Google it. That's what I said. If I wanted to know, you know, but I don't know the woman has an extra rib. Said the devil has 6 ounces of brain cell. Man, it depends on how you take a lot of this stuff, you know. If you go with it, that's what it is. If you have a question about it, then you go do the research to find out. But, hey, you know, hey, I don't just go because something is said, man. A lot of things are said.
Good?
That's how I see it. Peace.
Peace. Swing that around.
Yes, sir.
Sit down,
Next time, we
God.
actually should sit in the cipher that way.
That's why I try to get a cipher. I try to get a cipher because that's why I didn't stay there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I moved over here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I get your doing good. I got that part of the cipher there.
So we won't make it line.
All right, okay.
God spoke the truth line.
Okay.
And the sister there, he knows the nurse there. She won't be here, but peace to all our life.
Travel safe, girl.
But yeah, God spoke the truth line. The Lord just called me back.
Oh, let me talk, as a matter of fact, I contacted some brothers that I know, right? One of the brothers on the floor, he said that he was gonna ask a parole officer to go there and check the dog and send him his name.
Oh, that's correct. That's correct.
Peace. I don't know, would you get ready, Bill?
Yeah, but go ahead, though.
I wanted to add on a few things that, you know, what all was being said here. See, you know, and I ask this all the time when I'm building, you know, I ask the guards all the time, do y'all care how the earth see y'all? You know,
Yeah.
you need to pay attention to that. Because a lot of times things come from a misogynistic tone, you know, things against the woman, you know, that statement, we gave you a rib. So, you gave me a rib. Where was your vision when you saw that? Who was there when that took place? You know, that wasn't a hard question to be answered because that's why I asked him. When I say where you got that from, show me some documentation that show and proves that. That's all he had to do is show me documentation. Don't give me, we always talk about with the devil vote. You don't believe where you go. But you're sitting here quoting that when you want to use that. Then you want to tell me to use Google. Google don't have all absolutes in there. We all know that. We all know that. I've looked on Google and found information about me that I know ain't true. So don't send me to Google necessarily. I mean, why he just didn't go in his own mind and show me the proof where that's what I said, where did he get it from? He couldn't give me that. And the answer, that kind of response, it's not just from him, it's across the board. Anytime, a lot of times when we being talked about as the women here, and we're sub to you, and you only exist because we allowed it. And a lot of times when we go into a cipher, and it's not to say a man is less than a woman, but a lot of times you go into the cipher, you ain't even as smart as me. You can't even do half the things I do. But you want to act like I'm sub to you. And I mean that because I'm subjected, you know, I'm one of your subjects, or your pawns on the chessboard, and I know how to play chess. Okay, so, and I beat guards in playing chess. I'm talking about you, baby. I'm talking about other people. Okay, not you, baby. Other
Why
guys.
you don't like it like
Oh, man.
See, you know why? Let me tell you why. Because see,
Oh,
you know,
Go ahead,
dealing with
pick your
different.
bill,
Let me
big
here's
man.
part of my bill.
Yeah.
The good thing about the relationship is that he's not like that. What I'm describing. He's open to my bills to hear me as I'm open to him. Because from my beginning of having this knowledge in 1977, he was there. He was one of the ones who said, that better happen. Another better happen. He was always, so when you hear a person that's doing that for you, the only person that ever really did that for me was my father. He was definitely one of those men. Don't let no man, don't be afraid of a man, nothing but a man. And there was other guys and my uncles and my cousins, and I was raised around a bunch of men that protected me. So, and you in this nation, they got, I tell a God this, I told another brother, I told sister, they got something called a God code. And I know you're going like this, what is that? That's something that I said. I said it to brothers. I said, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. If a God do something wrong and you know it's wrong, let me slide, God. And knowing that the God is wrong in the cipher, but because that's your man and he the God, you're going to let him slide. Because that's the God code. And even if it's, and when it's against a woman, how many times have you ever heard men getting up in the nation, specifically speaking up for bringing a cipher, when a brother has done something to a woman, or something going on, bring it to the cipher and say, this God is doing this wrong to the sister. You rarely see that. By the time you hear about the cipher, the sister is the one going. And y'all go, I didn't know. But I know they saw something, they heard something. And y'all let it slide. Because why? That's their business. No, it hurts the nation. It's hurt us really bad. It's really, it has hurt really bad. I do so much work. I do a lot, I spend a lot, and people be dogging my name. But guess what? I still get up and do the work. Because you, like, even though our life is also, he said, well, when you fall, you don't just get back up. You get up and don't do what caused you to fall again. That's the thing. When you fell, did you get back up and say, I ain't doing that no more because I ain't trying to fall? No, some people get up. Just because you took a shower and you look clean today doesn't mean that it's all good. Now I'm going back out today and I'm going to do it again. You know? This like, anybody ever read the book called The Value and the Value by Ayala Alazan? Okay, well they got also, and a lot of people don't, you know, so I don't know if any of y'all read the Quran, but they got things in the Quran that does make sense. Like he want to use the Bible for the real, well, I'm going to use the Quran. About being on the edge, on the edge of the pit. Like, y'all, because y'all ain't say no, no, I don't use that. I'm not doing tit for tat, I'm just showing you a reality. This is real. So it says you was on the edge of the fire.
Fire.
You was, it's a conversation in the Quran. You was there and you fell in. Something going with spookiness reeled you back in. Or you was on the edge and you almost fell in. But why do you keep going to that edge? That's the science of that conversation there. You keep going near that edge.
Condition.
Right. It says Allah does not change the condition until you change the condition with yourself. You must, but that could take two ways. He put you in a situation which was good and you tried to change it because you didn't like the good. Or it could be that you was, no, not you. It's about you person. You don't take it personal. I'm saying in general. So you may be in a bad situation and you want to change. How do you change? You just change. I mean, some people find it harder than others, and I get that. But while you down there and you still want to come up, leave people alone. Make your come up good. You gotta be upright before you start. Because you know what? That shows you weak. And it's only gonna make you weak. It's like when you're sick and you know what gets you sick? Stress. Stress, you worrying, you get sick. So the best thing to do is find a way out that stress so you can get well.
No.
You can't get well while you're trying to tear something down that's hurting you. You ain't helping yourself. You're not putting nothing good and positive in that situation. Remove inside. Sometimes a lot of people gotta remove themselves from a cipher, also to make themselves well. Like people say, oh, like me, and I don't have a problem with it. Oh, she left the nation. Yeah, when I was 18, yes. You know why? And I keep telling everybody, it was just me, not too. So years later, crack came. I was in a safe haven. I was in a place where I was protected, where that couldn't come into the cycle. So, and all the damage that it did to a lot of our sisters, I know a lot of sisters who left here, y'all. You know, you've been around a long time, y'all know them sisters. They tell me the story. Some of them, I still talk to them today. They don't come around, but they tell me their story. And I know what happened. You know what I'm saying? I seen some of that stuff. I know what y'all went through. But see, the difference with me, I ain't scared to speak up. A lot of sisters sitting around in silence, in pain, and in hurt, and they don't speak. They don't say nothing. And so it makes the guards think, we all good. We good. Yeah, peace God, peace God. And when we be looking at some, I be looking at some of y'all meet. I'm like, giving that good. You know what he did yesterday? But he the God. He the God. Based on what? Like I spoke at the last parliament here, the last rally here, when I spoke about what the first agreement of 1 to 10 was, the 1 to 10 tells you who God is. It says God is all, is what? He's what? Righteous? He's all wise and does everything right. Exactly.
Okay.
And everybody says in the first, unless they're talking about we righteous, we righteous, we righteous, we righteous. What about you is righteous? What are you doing right? What are you doing right in that? What are you doing wise? Making unwise decisions to a woman. Ooh, the camera. Sometimes, a lot of times when you make unwise decisions, you gotta know who's watching you. I'm not saying I've not done. I've done a lot. Most of my unwise decisions have come with me. Building with people, guards specifically, who say they're the God. When the lady find out, they not that. And because I recognize they're not that, that's why they really get mad. Because I know who they are. And I keep telling y'all the problem, I said it before. Earths know who y'all are. Earths know who y'all are.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to take you on face value. So when I question you, answer the question. This only to say, I really don't know. Something I heard, like a lot of guards, they say, when the guards used to say to us back in the day, you know, when they get high, I said, why you get high? My father would do this, I gotta go through it too. No, you don't. You don't gotta do that.
Who told that?
A lot of them, they used to say that to us back in the day. Y'all heard that my father went through, I gotta go through it too. I gotta go through. No, you don't gotta go through that. Why I want to go through the hell of a pit fire if I know that, there's a burning bush right there and you want me to run through it, and I know when you came out, when you went through there, you died, so I got to go through it too because you went through it too? No, I'm not doing that. That's not the cooperation I'm interested in. Okay, that's not the cooperation I'm interested in. I'm interested in the cooperation that says that, like you said, all minds, we always say all minds are one. How we going to get it is just how you explain it. That lesson you gave, that's the best way I've heard that explained. You know, the non-competitive. Yes, they say humans are competitive by nature, whatever they tell us that, because the animal kingdom is competitive. They're very competitive. Now, because we in this world that we in, we have to be competitive. But sometimes, you know what? See, I'm doing some building these days that a lot of people don't see. What I'm doing is I'm learning to not to be so, but you know, I can. You know, and I'm trying to be, I'm being assertive, aggressive, assertive, but I'm going like this now. First of all, it has a lot to do with him. I ain't gonna lie, because he's like, you ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to do that. I'll be like, leave me alone. I'm going to do that. And if you don't listen to me, I can listen to nobody. But you know what though? I'm like, okay. And And that's the respect that he gets. And so I'm in a better place in mental space. Even the hell I'm going through today, okay? The hell I'm going through today. And it's like trying to balance it out and keep it in order. You know, it's like, once you find somebody like that, you gotta say peace to that. You know, you gotta say that. But there's a lot of sisters out there who don't have that. Even if they in relationships with God and they don't have that. And I know that because I know they suffer. They tell it to me. And then you got a lot of sisters who go, I ain't getting it. They've been 20 years without God and they go, I'm not getting none of them. You know, like, and they rather be not with nobody because they're like, no, I don't want that. And that's a doggone shame. You know, one brother had said one time, and he got a wife at home. And he said, the pickings is slim here in the nation. You ain't in 50, he was scared picking because you got, and she had 85 cents, you pick what you got at home. So you come in for what? But the earth speaking say that. The pickings are slim.
They talk to the wrong brother.
Well, I know. I'm not nowadays.
See,
nowadays.
I'm not talking about
nowadays.
I'm not talking about the God. I'm talking about
You can't say that.
the people that you're socializing with.
Now I'm saying God. I know a lot of gods on earth, so you can't say you don't know who I know. I know a lot of gods on earth. You gotta remember, I know a lot of gods on earth because I build a lot of cycles. I build not wide and across the country. So and you know that, and you'd be surprised. A lot of earth, yeah. And I don't even want that title of Elder Earth and all that. I'm not, you know, I'm in the Elder Earth circle. We created that some years ago. However, because of my age and my time I've been around, I've become an older. It's a lot of sisters that I build with that are younger than me. So I'm older to them, and so they do come to me, and I go with them as well.
I understand.
Right, and I go with them as well, and we built. You saw the cipher that we had at Mecca's mother's funeral, how I had to deal with your daughter, and I have to do that to you so you can understand the science of why I was able to do that. I had to do this. Normally with me and her, I'll be like, what? So you know what I did? You saw what I did, right? I went just like this. I'm going to tell you.
Both of you make for the same call.
No, we not.
Yes, you are. You may want me to say to them now, but both
Okay,
of you make the same call.
I'm gonna see.
Let me
Mommy not saying what I want to say.
Let me say this for a minute.
Go like
Let me
this.
say this
I have to do this right now.
Sometimes, here's a set of 120, and this is a set of 120. Everybody's not going to see this thing. Everybody's not going to see this thing. See, some people don't internalize the mathematics.
What is that?
Okay? Because the mathematics is the language of
Right.
the original language that shows you a lot of what is wrong. The alphabet is a dialogue of that language. Those 2 degrees give you morals and principles. They tell you what you should do in the culture and what you should not do in the culture. Everybody don't internalize like that.
So your statement that me and her come from the same cloth, but you just explains it 2 different people. One who's so we're not for couple of the same. That's my point.
Right.
So we have to change that because we're not couple of the same.
Because they grow. People grow from what you offer.
Well, not just that, but also what is given to them too. Some people haven't had the opportunity to sit down with somebody and take them by the hand and say, let me. Some people have been to roam free and never, you know, so it's like, if you could put 2 people, there's some people, like I have my children, and some of them I gotta babysit more than others.
Well,
That's like, as I'm saying, I know what I'm saying, and we have a lot more here, babysitting.
That's why I tell a lot of people to
You're giving me money today too?
I tell a lot of people information is based on facts, not theory.
Exactly, that's why I asked that question.
I understand this, yeah, you what I'm saying to you, right? But I don't want you to put me in that category, okay?
I can put you in, but you
No, I know you very well.
Silence, see, you were silent on that cycle. Silence is not broken. Silence could be a grieving, God, because you did not speak up. Anyone who heard that and knew that was wrong or questionable should have said, yeah, God, answer her question. Yeah, God, answer her question. Show and prove that, God, but y'all, and back in the day, y'all notice what, see, because I did that, that's what I grew underneath. Yeah, God, show and prove that. See that brother CLO? Let me tell you, we've been in ciphers with people, and people come into the cipher, and they will say something, and I would mean, oh, God, show them who that. And then CeeLo would say, yeah, God, show them. It's like, y'all did not do that.
So Coco didn't do that, we wrong.
Yeah, because y'all heard it wrong and y'all didn't speak up. Y'all knew that was wrong. Y'all knew in your own, even if y'all didn't agree with what he said, or you didn't understand it, or you didn't like it.
I won't do what a lot of these brothers say.
No, but the thing is, God.
But I got my own outlook on life.
But your own outlook on life, like the corporation, how we gonna become cooperative with each other? We don't have the same, or try to tune in each other the better way possible.
Well,
By him putting that out there, then remember, he was talking about my beginning as a woman. My beginning is this on the earth. That's the beginning. That was a conversation that should have been dealt with, because so I'm supposed to go home and teach my daughter or my son that, yeah, give them that and not show them who that is. No, I can't do that. That's wrong. We cannot keep allowing people to come in the cipher and say things that they want to say, and we know they're not right as that, and because he's the God, he gets a pass because you don't want to get into an argument, or you don't want to be that one to get the things Yeah. I know you did say it to me on this. But you did make that point to me. But the thing is that saying we all have different understandings, it's to me, I don't like that statement. Let me tell you why. Because you have a different understanding sometimes, because some people want to be ignorant. They want to be argumentative, or they think that what they say is the say, and they want you to follow them. And that's what I got from that conversation when he said that. Because I was a female in the presence and the only one, he wanted me to follow him because that's what God, the woman does to God. She submits to God, and he wanted me to submit to that nonsense, and I wasn't. And whether he ain't even my God. But I know him since I'm younger, so I know he wants to impose his thought on me. He ain't doing that. And ain't too many people can do that. Okay, so I wasn't going to. I'm saying to myself, he gonna tell me that.
Can't move with you.
No, I'm saying, what's it about? He said my rib came from him, and I'm like, show him who that. Show him who that. Yes, it's in the Bible, but the Bible doesn't show him who that.
I won't teach from the Bible.
But the thing is that.
I teach from mathematics.
But have you ever heard that statement from anywhere else?
Yes, I haven't heard it before.
From other than the Bible.
Yes.
Where? Tell me, please.
From people.
No, but people get it from where? From the
People
Bible.
article. I don't know where they got it
From the Bible.
What's the statement?
Bible got it.
God said that.
The woman came from the rib. A man.
His
Well, that's
mouth-
come from the Bible.
No.
That's what he said. He said, he has less ribs because he gave to me.
No.
What?
Yeah, he said you have an extra rib.
I have an extra
You
rib
carry baby.
because I got
That's what I
my
heard.
rib from him.
Right.
Yeah. That's what he said.
He said that,
But
right?
he told me that downstairs.
Right. So I said, so when it came
You took
around to
it
the cipher,
downstairs?
Yeah, I saw him downstairs.
for the
No,
cipher,
he did
for the cipher,
It's a little grounds now.
You don't do that
But
shit.
for the cipher, when it got to me, I asked him, when I said the JCP Mathematics Knowledge Culture, I said, show me with Lord's power. Show me with your power how that happened, because I need to know how I got my rib from you. So, and he started going, I said, listen, and I said, that sounds like some spooky mathematics. Please show me, where'd you get that from?
Right.
And he couldn't show me.
Why would you need your rib? We're talking about the first creation, right? And we're talking about the first creation, the rib from him. Anyone that's coming from you that would not get a rib from a man from that time on. Are you saying to me that because at the beginning of time, or when male and female was created, and when Allah created it, that he took the rib from the man to create the form of a woman? Are you saying that? But that was the first woman. That does not necessarily mean that every woman that's come after has taken a rib from a man.
But that was my point to him. Tell me.
If he would have manifested like that, that would
I-
be sufficient. Hold on.
Okay.
If he would have manifested like you just did, that would have gave understanding to a question.
No,
Yes, it would, because that's
not for me.
No, because
That's still would have been spooky.
Listen. He said, listen. Let me show you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we do teach from the Quran and the Bible, but we got lessons on the 20 degrees.
Right.
However, he said from the Bible, if he
He
would
never
have
said Bible.
he did. He
I
said
asked
Bible.
him. He said, okay. He said, okay.
So if he gave that understanding, like he said, that's a clear picture. I can see that. But being he didn't have a clear understanding, it made you say, show and prove that. And that's where all that's what created.
But see, I already know those lessons in the
But
Quran
that's
and the
not
Bible.
my point.
No, my
I
point.
understand what she
I got
just
your
said.
point, but my point was to him telling me as a earth that the woman came from the rib, got her, and I want to show me scientifically how that took place, because he hasn't shown proof that. He just can't tell me blanket that because of this and that. No, he got to show me where is it. If you read it in the Bible, then the Bible, so whoever put it in the Bible had to have some information that says that as well. But they omitted that. There's a lot of, we already know that there's a lot of things that are not put in those books. There's things, like I said, he said Google it. Google leaves
Well, you
out
know,
things.
it's funny now, well, I just Googled it, and it's, and it said that man and woman is born with 24 ribs. Like the same amount.
Exactly.
It ain't say one had more than the other. It
Right.
said both.
Yes.
Ooh.
And we gotta also, we gotta.
No, it said right.
Pardon me,
I mean,
just
you
to
said
say, let me
It
just
said,
say, if you would have Googled it when he said that, that would have made him retract
Or
his
24 ribs, it said man and woman.
Right. If you'd have Googled
I
it when
disagree
he
with that. I disagree with that.
You did
Well,
you
that
did
just-
autopsy?
That's why she said-
What did it say? How many women got?
24.
Everybody
like
ain't the
that.
same. But that's just a little what she said. She said you can't trust Google.
That's right.
That's what she said. Did you say that?
No, but see,
I mean, some
he was telling me that Google's going to show me other than what he just said.
Right there, it said both the same.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
But that's not
I don't know
even.
why I'm in it, 'cause
Google's
I
not
got-
even my point. My point was that show me scientifically how that exists other than a word that's written in a book that you say got fallacies in it. We use some things in the Bible, we don't use them all.
That's true.
You know, I'm gonna tell you.
I gotta say this. First of all, well, for me, I'm gonna speak for me. When we look at the Bible or Quran, whichever book that you study from, basically it's not talking about flesh. We have to remember that what we hear right now, we're in flesh. And everything that is based in the Bible, if you really looking beyond what it says, is talking spirit. What he did was, what God did was that he created a flesh being from what he created out of what they, well, how do we get in the Bible that he created man from dirt, right? And then he wanted to make sure that his significant other was a part of him that's was created one, so he took a rib from him to create the shape and form of him. But at the end of the day, when we talk about, he says, I have created you in my image. He's not talking about the physical image, he's talking about the spiritual image. He's talking about, we all get caught up in time, we get caught up in flesh, and that was another reason why too, he's talking about when he had the tree of life in the middle of the garden. He said, you can eat of every tree except for the knowledge of good and evil. Once we ate from the tree from the knowledge of good and evil, that means we killed our spiritual self, because our fleshly self took over our spirit. That is why he sent Yahushua here to redeem that. And he left it in the tree of life. The tree of life is there, not for the flesh, it's there for the spirit, so you may live continually on. And that's my personal assessment, but you also said that we can't believe in every book. You're right, every book that is written, according to any religious book that's written, because it's always based on a religion, and there's nothing about religion about it. There are books that are not all there. But we also have to believe, we want to understand, and we really want to open up our minds and really understand, and you guys talk about mathematics, we have to open up ourselves spiritually. We have, in order for us to see beyond the physical, then we'll open ourselves and we talk about mathematics. Then we can see the earth, we can see the stars, we can see it because we have now broadened our minds and we are now expanding. And that's not the flesh that's expanding, that's the spirit that's expanding.
Okay, so what you related that way. That's how you, like you said, that's how you see it. But see, when you say he created, and he created him, male and female, I don't ascribe to that. So I've already, let me finish. I've already dumped that theory. So when you start talking to me, I only hear, I cut off at one point because that's not something I even put in my conversation, because that's the problem that our people are having right now. Because they think that somebody went like this, boom, and it took place. And if you keep having our minds like that, that we thinking that something someone else created our existence, that's what he attempted to do with me. He attempted to make me think that he created my existence. He was the he as well. I'm talking about, see, they also put it in the book as a he the dominant part that created me. And see, that's what allowed him to transport that stuff in his own mind to try to inflict it on me. And I'm using the word inflict, and that's a strong word. And the reason why I'm using that, because that's what we're suffering from. People inflicting their thought pattern on another person to making them even worse. Because now I gotta submit to the woo, and then I gotta submit to the man. That's two things I gotta submit to now. That created me. The woo, and now I got part of the man in me now. So, I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, and when I say because that's no, if I use other words, people talk so not because
Even the word spirit. When you say the word spirit, I don't use that either, because that keeps us, our people dead too.
But the spirit is which is alive. That is what put us go on. The flesh, you can kill the flesh, but if we don't act on our individuality, our power within, because we, again, I know I go back to the universe, but we're all connected spiritually. Now, you may not want to use that word, that's the word I use, because I need you and me, that you
Sister Miriam, let me say one thing to you. Maybe if you define what you mean when you say spirit, you know, because now when you deal with Middle Eastern philosophy, spirit means energy. So now what term or how are you using spirit? You know, using its energy.
Right.
Okay, so now maybe you can get a better understanding of what you
because
mean.
energy is now able to evolve. Right?
Well, energy
is
cannot
able
be
to-
created nor can it be destroyed.
It can evolve, it can
Change
change.
form, right.
Those are the things, that's what's nuts, right? But if you're looking at, we're talking about us as human beings, she's right. Our minds are limited. We can't think outside of being here. We can't think outside of the physical.
But let me show you something. Energy is physical, you know, because we dealing with energy. Energy is from an atom. It's atomic energy, you know, and it takes up space. Anything that takes up space is physical. So we learned many years ago that life and substance is forever inseparable. You know, and that's our body and our mind. You know, everything is me. From my mind, my thoughts, you know, from cell to cell is what makes me. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can get somebody's DNA from one strand of hair. I can take one strand of your hair and I can get your whole genetic makeup from it. You know? Because all of this is a part of me. This is what makes me. You know, I'm not separate from my thoughts. You know, I'm not separate from any part of my body. So man and the ecosystem or the environment is one. We're one. You know, it's a connection. It's a continual exchange between man and the universe. Because look at plant life. We inhale oxygen that we get from plant life, but we also keep them in existence and we give off the carbon dioxide. You know, when we die, our body breaks down. It's no longer in the condensed form. You know, it starts to break down. That's why we say we have a term that we use called the essence. Right now, someone died. We said the essence but the essence isn't really the end of life. It's also the beginning of life. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we're speaking about that.
Right, because.
So
No, go ahead, sister.
yeah, so I read it as an energy, essence, everyone has a different term for it at the end of the day.
Right,
When we're talking about this body that we're in, it's gonna die. That's the
It
end
seems
of
to
it.
be a part of what we call common reality in dealing with your five senses. It's no longer in that realm anymore. You know, it's because the molecules will break down. You know, we're going to
But
see.
the essence
I have a
can't be
birthday, and I'm pretty sure it's going to come a time when I will expire.
Just like
You know?
anything, a fruit has a expiration. It's
Right,
it comes into existence. You eat it or you don't. If you don't eat it, it rottens and it dies.
right.
So anything flesh can die.
Can I say something?
It can change form. Yes, it definitely does. Because, like I said, you know, we were born, we had a degree called how baby born from a live CL from a clot of blood. So that's how we came about physically, you know. So we all have a birth date physically, you know. However, and we all will expire physically, you know, meaning that our body won't exist in this form anymore. You know, it's going to break down, the atoms will break down, you know, you can no longer inhale the breath of life. That's the reality. You
So
know?
your essence will now be set free. So your essence, I'm going to use the word you use, your essence is now set free to evolve. You can't evolve in this body because we put too many limits on this body.
Well, yeah, we can only do certain things within this body. Yeah.
Evolves to limit, evolves to dust. Bones,
Yeah.
you know the story of the Egyptians that they tell, that they mummified themselves. Why? Because they said they were coming back to life. Now,
When they come back into
they wasn't coming to verbally tell. It was going to be a picture. They was going to open up them tombs, and we was going to see how they lived. That's the coming back to life that I see. I don't think they meant they were going to be walking on the earth, talking to people. That's what they meant. That's right, because that's why they did what they did. They put everything in there, how they lived. They even put their servants. They put things in there so they can tell how they lived. That's what they meant by coming back to life. A lot of people make a mistake, oh, they was going to come back. That's what that story, you're going to rise when you die, and then on the day of judgment, you're going to rise and come back to life. That's not something that we...
And the same token is another metaphor when a person go back, like the brother says, essence, they say when we speak about it, you know, we bring their life. To me, when the sister was talking about, to me, that's like the breath of life.
Right.
You inhale and you exhale, right? That's life, right? And like you said, like you got the physical body, but then once it's dead, right, it decomposes. But then we got atoms within there, and it just changes. You know what I'm saying? It decomposes, but it still has what the brother talk about, DNA and RNA, because they can still take the molecules of that dead body and take it under the microscope and give us birthright, how long it existed. That's how you know how long the Egyptians lasted and so forth and so on, because they take those bones that was buried, take it under microscopes, under the carbon copy, right? Right, and they determine how long it was existence. So life is never dead in the essence of it can't be recorded, especially when it comes to the original people. Maybe the Caucasians, because they have a said record, they have a beginning. But when you look at the existence of our people, it's a beginning that never began and it never ended. That's our side, that's what we teach.
You know, I want to say something about, I like what you said, because that reminds me of a lesson. We have life and substance are one and the same, and forever inseparable. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when dealing with bodies or equality with the body, and it's a mind-body connection. She used spirit, we might say divine mind. You know what I'm saying? Like the word when you say it's about words. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's many bodies. We have a light body, you know what I'm saying? We have an energy body, we have an astral body. You know, we have many bodies, not just this, you know what I'm saying? We have an aura, and an aura has many bodies. Like sometimes a person can walk up on you, and it hits your aura, and you turn around. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real. It broke the plane of your existence. You know what I'm saying?
You know, like, for instance, just so you can see, like,
Because I ain't trying to teach them, I'm trying to build on something, man.
just like, you know, I know what you said. Listen, God, listen. Hakeem, listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to give you a picture. You know when you get into one of the elevators that go like 50-something feet, and when you get something, you go, like it seems like she was saying spirit or energy, like, you know what I'm saying, like the breath of life. That's like what they call conscious, like prana.
No,
Right.
no,
Consciousness, in a sense.
That's what I was talking about.
See now, the nervous system takes in prana.
Right.
The circulatory system takes in oxygen.
Right.
There's many systems in many bodies.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
You know
I
what
agree with
I'm
you. So I
saying?
was just giving a picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That you can show like they was talking about this, like this oxygen or this, or you know that type of
But
thing.
that the breath of life is the prana, not the oxygen.
Right. I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Or some call it chi.
Chi,
You
right.
know, some
That's
people call
what
it
I'm trying to
okay.
say.
I understand what I'm saying.
That's
You know
the
what these people saying.
that's the word I was trying
I know exactly what he's saying.
I said cottage in there.
I know what you're talking about.
Right, that's it.
Like he says on in the word.
Right.
We all say the same thing, but we use different words. That's all I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, it's all good, it's all good, it's all
The
good.
part that we don't see, the part,
And
this,
related.
anything I'm talking about is physical.
Right.
Everything that I feel that we're all connected.
That's what it is. And we are.
That never,
And we get caught up in
as you
what's
said,
that.
it never
Yeah.
dies,
Yeah.
and because it's in each one of us. And that's why you either feel connected to someone or you repel someone because of it. You got the energy, the chi, the essence, the divinity, the whatever.
Yeah.
I need to have
This is what I do.
good
But isn't it amazing how comprehension is everything? Because there's people that lose their mind and don't know nothing no more. So what about that? You know, I've seen a few guys, well, a few brothers in the nation that been like Black God and a few other brothers forgot who they were. So comprehension is got to be it, because once you don't know, you don't know. And all this can be zapped.
I'm glad you
Okay,
said
you
that,
said
because
comprehension.
the forgetting of who you are, you know, a lot of people talk about like the earths who've left and,
Right.
and come back or whatever. You got a lot of brothers who left.
Right.
And when they left, they lost their mind too.
Right.
And then they come back.
Yeah.
And
After
when
they wake up.
And when they and remember now, because when they left, they lost some things, and when they come back, they don't put everything back in proper perspective. And when they start talking, they talk with that left mentality,
Right.
and they trying to give it to us. And you must question them, like me, because I became a Muslim, and I just happen to didn't be with just no any old Muslims. I was with Muslims who was teaching black culture, teaching that black people were the original people. Those are the Muslims that I was amongst.
Right.
So when they was teaching that, they went to Africa, they was going back and forth, they was doing research. So I was underneath that and learning things, and things I wasn't learning here. And the nation was teaching me, oh, the Africans, they fell victim, basically, they lost a lot of themselves. So they told us to shy away from the Africans. I know a lot of gods and earths who, when you say the word African, oh, we don't deal with them, they savages. And back in the day, we was young. They taught us that. It wasn't until I went somewhere else and was taught otherwise that no, you don't deny those people, because those are original people. And if they did lose, like the lesson said, the lesson is right. They lost the knowledge of themselves. That doesn't mean that we don't go and find out what happened to them exactly. Because if they are there living the cultures that when the devil went in that world, went to that world, he's just messed up a whole bunch of things. And yes, things got lost. But the thing is, what happened to them? There's some of them there who still remember some of the things from the beginning that are trickled down. We shied away. We didn't even want to hear none of it. Now I'm different. So now when I hear people say certain things because I was underneath them studies, I know where they, because I was studying a whole lot of stuff. So when I hear people talk, I go, I know what book they got that from. I know where they got that from. I know. And then when I ask them to show and prove that, and they can't, or if they say to me, I got it from that book, then I'll be fine with that, because I know it ain't their original thought. It's somebody else's thought that they read and they put it in their mind. And I get that, because that's a whole bunch of us that went through that science. We went through that. But it's okay that we have fair exchange and talk about it, and we should be able to discuss it so that when we go out there, we teach it 85%. How are we going to teach them if we're not giving them the original thought or trying to give it to the best, just something that we want to blast out and think people are supposed to go with it? Because you know what people used to do to us? And y'all, a lot of y'all, I'm speaking when I finish. We all going through that. People should say to us, the Father said. That meant we had to bear witness because the Father said.
Well, they still
Just
do.
because they said it, the Father said. That doesn't mean the Father said it. It's because they said the Father said it.
Right.
And we, a lot of us went through that. Still, some of us still quote things and say the Father said. We don't really know what the Father really said. A lot of those things. We just, and a lot of people be quoting stuff like.
But he might have said it to them. He didn't say it to us.
That too.
You know what I'm just saying?
And you know who the best example of that was Abu Shahid. Abu Shahid, I asked him, does the Father say, so Allah most precious Jew, that she was a goddess? You know what he said? I don't know what he said to her. He said, I wasn't there for every conversation. And none of it was, he said, a lot of times the Father be speaking, and you'll walk into a cipher when he's speaking and catch the other half. You didn't know how it started.
Let me say something. Go ahead, dog. I'm going to do that for you.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
A lot of people got to understand the facts of life and energy itself. You can read anything you want to read, but if you don't look at you, you taking all that on face value. All of it. Because the science of living mathematics is looking at you, your body, your makeup, where you come from, what you like, what you don't like. The physical composition composes and decomposes. Energy cannot be created, neither destroyed. It transforms from one form to another. The origin of the original man cannot be calculated through modern day achievement. Cannot. They continue to do research, and they're always coming up with another year or another date for original people. Their origin truly has a beginning. Ours don't.
Let's not calculate what they're doing. Is finding that the history of black people is continuous. See, understand who's doing that.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to calculate.
But these is Europeans. But these is Europeans. We ain't talking about the people we come over and shut the Diak and all that. They refuted all the enemy before they get what's lined up and done.
Exactly.
Exactly,
That's right, you right.
Exactly.
So my point, like Eureka, for instance, right? Eureka was taught by the Father. When I went to approach him and asked him about the Father, he said that he wasn't all out. But then again, I seen brothers praise him like he was all out.
That's right.
Right? But and I went to get square and cleaned at him off.
Yeah.
Right? But Barshay stopped me. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, what I'm saying is that a lot of these brothers, the Father said, listen, if you ain't been able to go back to the mosque. Some of them need that discipline. You gotta understand something, man. You know, like, when this knowledge came and when it came, it was a whole lot of different sects. You had Elijah, you had the Mamas, you had the Panthers. Everybody was trying to find that identity of who the black man was in North America. But the only one that came into the ghettos and taught the curious minds was Allah, because he taught the young. And that was the greatest, and that's our key to understanding your lineage, what you talking about, the history. Because Allah made us to the degree that when we go back to our history, of all them saying this, because you understand something. In the 3.5 years that he was amongst us, and those individuals that he taught, right? He gave certain prescribed laws to those individuals. And a lot of brothers didn't, take heed to it, right? We couldn't read and write at that particular time as we could now. But understanding our lessons and going through the different forms of life, and anthropology and chemistry and so forth and so on, we became masters. I might have liked it, like a lot of brothers today, they call themselves Muslim sons. I remember back in the days, man, they just ran from amongst us. Now you got brothers talking about their mace on. They got the flag with the Muslim sons on. I don't prescribe it. I'm just saying. Like, the God might like chemistry. He's a master at it. He might like physics. So if I got a degree on that type of degree, I might have to go to him because he's a master. Look at Shamgar. Shamgar designed the flag. Look what he was doing in his mindset when he was talking about them stars and all that. He wasn't no astronaut, but he did the God was just as good as that black guy. What's that black guy today?
The greasy.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. We some of the greatest teachers in the world, God. So we can't deny another brother's intelligence when it comes down to expressing himself. It might not come out right, but that's the reason why we add on, to make it complete, to make my cipher complete of what I'm trying to say by you adding on or he adding on, and, you know, so we can all get a clear picture.
Now watch this here, God. Genetic makeup. My makeup is different from hers. Totally different, God. I don't bleed. They bleed. Totally different.
You don't bleed.
No. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you got
Come on, man. Listen, man. Come on, man. You got a mind, right? Stop playing with my top,
Yeah,
y'all.
I'm not playing with your top. I'm saying, y'all, listen, right? Yeah.
This is why I don't like to build, man.
Why?
You gotta feel what you gotta make it understand.
You gotta express yourself.
Come on, man. This is why I don't like being in those ciphers with people who ain't got open minds.
I got open mind.
But she's got, she sees.
God, listen, man. You pointing at people. We not
You
pointing
pointing
at
at her. You said her.
Wait, what now?
Not you. They don't like you.
Where you pointing at?
Understand it to be understood, God.
We understand this, man.
I'm just saying, make it plain, y'all.
You don't mix you in.
That's where the play made devil. I ain't making that.
Go ahead. I'm just saying, God would build me to add on, God. Make it plain. We gonna stay on top of it, cause we ain't destroying, y'all.
Listen, like I said, my makeup and the woman's makeup is totally different.
Okay.
Totally different.
Okay.
Her body do stuff that my body don't do.
Of course.
Right?
Okay.
I'm the life source. She's the life receiver. I give her life. She gotta hold that life up, right? What's gonna hold it up? That extra rib. It's a fact. That's an actual fact. And people wanna play like I'm saying something stupid. But I said it in my mouth, God. It's a fact. Because I'm not book smart like the rest of y'all. I got it from mouth to ear.
That don't make it wrong.
God, listen, God. I got it from mouth to ear. So it gave me the ability. It gave me the ability to look at me. And when I looked at me, I looked at the counterpart as well. And realized that it's a difference. We equal in value, but we're not equal. We only equal in value. I'm the giver, she's the bearer. Different. My body makeup is different from hers. Her body can carry and give off milk. My body ain't giving off no milk. It's a fact. A natural fact. People put things in books all day long. That's just a theory of things. The reality is the self. It's looking at self. Knowing the physical makeup. Understanding the physical makeup comes from daddy, mama. No immaculate conceptions. Nothing spooky. Energy cannot be created, neither destroyed. It transforms from one form to another. Life and death has no partnership. Death is an illusion.
Yes, I do.
When a physical composition decomposes, that don't mean they dead.
Not always. I eat fish too, not
It's
always.
a reality though, dog. And we gotta stop trying to assassinate each other's intelligence.
We can do it.
God, listen, God. We gotta stop doing that, man. Everybody talk about what the law said. You know what I say? Listen to the wisdom of the law. Then you know what the man said. Because none of us was here with him, except for him. Hey, none of us in here seen him but him.
I saw a ball. Women took me to the ball. A lot of women. And asked me.
say, what the law said. Right? Well, tell you to go listen to the wisdom of Allah. You want to hear what that man said? Listen to the wisdom of Allah. You want to know how these mathematics go? Listen to the wisdom of Allah. You say you love his mathematics? Listen to the wisdom of him. And he's going to tell you how it goes down. He's going to show you the mathematical law of it. He's going to show you not to talk about nobody else, talk about yourself. He's going to show you, don't worry about what they doing, you just don't do it. That's the facts of this truth. You don't talk about nobody, talk about yourself. And that's the truth. That's the truth, girl. We as men, women, acknowledge yourself. Come together for one common cause. To build. For what? The children. That's our future. That's our wealth. The glory is in the truth. Anybody looking for glory, they sad and mistaken. Because I ain't glorifying nobody. I don't cherish a soul. I don't put no one above me. Why? Because it starts with me. If I don't show and prove me, I can't show and prove a damn thing. Because can't nobody show and prove a law of life. Can't nobody evaluate a law of life. Can't nobody qualify or disqualify a law of life. That's on me. Just like a law of life can't qualify or disqualify nobody else. That's why I don't talk about people. I don't try to assassinate people's character because I know about the prodigal son. I'm that prodigal son. Yeah. I'm that prodigal son that came home, 9,000 miles, back home, cleaned himself up, upright, perpendicular on the square, to show and prove that a law of life is God. Always has been, always will be. Yeah, that prodigal son who thought everything was good and went disaccording and caught hell. But had the strength, the courage to swim 9,000 miles back home and stand on the square and take all the rhetoric, the accusation, the assassination that people were trying to stole on me. And I'm still here. Yes, ma'am, thank you. Standing strong on my square. Each and every day. Each and every way. Trying to make things better for my nation. Because it's bigger than me. It's more bigger than me. It's bigger than money. Money ain't got nothing to do with it. It's about bringing us together, man. And loving each other. Respecting each other. That's the key. Not talking about each other. You know who do that? Religious people do that. Religious people talk about people. We tell the truth about ourselves. That's the Lord's teaching. That's how I got from mouth to ear. That's how real it is to me. That I can talk about me and don't talk about nobody else. Even in with the drama I went through with individuals in this nation, I still don't assassinate them. Why? Because it don't amount to nothing. It just causes separation. So instead of assassinating my brother's character, I try to lift up his character. Instead of beating my brother down, I try to lift my brother up. from the cradle to the universe. And everybody make choices. Everybody make decisions. And it's okay. But you got to take ownership, thank you, Queen, of the decisions you make. You got to take ownership of it. If you don't take ownership of the decisions you make, you're going to make the same damn decision. What's insanity? Repeating the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And you're going to get the same damn thing. So with that, I'm going to say I love everybody in here.
Love you
Because
too.
all we got is each other. All we got is each other, man. And when we stop assassinating each other and bring back the love, word is born, man. We'll be so motherfucking much better. So much better, man. Because the Lord told him, first thing we gotta do is love one another. And that's been gone. The unity, the love, we gotta bring that back. That's when everybody gonna attract more. Because then they see the chain is really strong. Remember when you couldn't walk through a cipher? Remember how tight it was then? We gotta bring that tightness back. We gotta bring that love back. Because the chain is no stronger than its weakest link. You know what makes chains weak links? When they start assassinating each other. When one thinks he's better than the other. That's separation. And I'm going to say peace with that.
Peace. It's on.
They wasn't
Base,
gonna get down
base,
with it, but they wasn't gonna
Base
work
degree.
on the flag.
It's knowledge culture. Who is the 85%?
No.
The uncivilized people, poison animal eaters, slaves to the mental death and power. People who do not know who the true living God is or their origin in this world and worship that they know not. Who are easily led in the wrong direction and hard to be led in the right direction. Hello.
That was very low. I ain't going there.
Anyway, this is a description of people who don't have the knowledge of self. But knowledge culture means know yourself. Your culture is your way of life. We teaching the knowledge of our culture because we've been lost from home, like the father said. He was a prodigal son. I like that saying. Because he was lost from home. He was lost, but now he's found. He was dead, but now he's alive. And we're all going through that process from being blind, deaf, and dumb, in the description of the 85% in part or in whole. And now we have the knowledge of our culture. So forth and proof through our power. The power that was given us, we're talking about energy, the power that is our energy was the truth. And the law said, if the truth don't get it, nothing else will. You know?
I'm contesting that.
So we here every second Sunday of the month, sharing our divine equalities in our own unique way. But mathematics avails us to be unique like that and use our creative imagination. What brothers and sisters speak on comes from their creative imagination. At one time they made a copy from a person, but at this time, not in the rotation of their cipher around the sun, they're using their own uniqueness and making knowledge, wisdom born their understanding. We knowledge their wisdom and see the understanding, but understanding is not understood. And we give a chance for a person to express themselves. But equality, they say, means to be equal in everything, but there's greater and lesser in all things. So we might not all be on the same page, but we're definitely in the same book of life. You know, going through trials and tribulations. The good times, the bad times, is all experience. Our job is to get who is the 85%, to be 5%. That's our duty as a civilized person. And it's not negotiable, not some do it or do it later, or you get too old to do it. There's no retirement for this. Because some people thinking they too old to teach anymore. Well, that's when the best time for you to teach. To show the wisdom of your days. But that means they haven't studied and kept up with the time. So they lost in time because the truth out of season is not going to get it. The same manifestation that you person come in with knowledge of self, if you still have that same manifestation, you have not grown within this. Because when you go through your day's degree, there's different experiences in life that help you, the lessons that help you master. And you might not even, this might make a word from that lesson that bring you into consciousness and how to solve that problem, or the continuation on your goals that you're doing. Because we all remember goal settings. Life is just a series of choices. So we choose what we do, but we got to go according to mathematics. That's the key. The side of mathematics is reserved for us to raise us for our mental different power. So we use them. We knowledge before we wisdom. We think before we act. You know, we look before we leap. By going according to mathematics, you can't go wrong because the science is right and exactness. But so who was the 85%? We were the 85%, but now we're not. We're the poor righteous teachers. We're not believing the teachers of the 10%. And the lesson said that we are all wise, each and every one of us. And know who the true living God is. And we teach that true living God is the Son of Man, the supreme being, black man from Asia, who teaches this quality to everybody. And the part that says otherwise, we're not the otherwise. People are otherwise who are civilized are Muslims and Muslim sons. They're not 5%ers. When I say that, because a Muslim son is a Mason, and a Mason is a 10%, and a 5% don't believe in the teachings of the 10%. So how can a Mason be a 5% and a 10%? You know, you can't occupy the same space at the same time. You know, the brothers talking about brothers walking around here with the Masonic flag on and our flag. You can't serve two masters. You know, get off the fence. Stop playing confusing people. That means you were back in the grave. Back in who's the 85%. A lot of people who rose up from this nation and helped build other nations. But they went back into religion. And had a discussion earlier today, how we're dealing with religion. We shouldn't be in them kind of discussions because that's why the Father said don't teach religion, because it's always going to cause some kind of controversy. He knew that. That's how you master the original man and woman, through religion. So we make it our decision to trust our religion. Not that we're not mindful and respectful of people of religious persuasion. We respect everybody because we want respect, we give respect. That's not our teachings. Because the Father came to what? To make all things new. Behold, He came to make all things new. A new heaven and a new earth. A new way of thinking, a new way of doing things according to the science of the mathematics. You know, that was just a life, because knowing there's no beginning or end of life, the life is eternal. So now we are the eternal ones. We have no beginning or ending because we know our origin in this world. And it doesn't start with a live seed particle and a drop of blood. It starts with thought. Thought is the first realm of creation. And if you don't realize that, then you're not thinking. Because if you're working on something, or something's working on you. Because you have to, that's right, so you have to build to make things born. And be in it forever now. You know, not the then, it's now or end. The end is a goal in mind, not a destination. We have destinations and our goals, and after one door closes, the other one opens because we're ever building. We're ever adding on, creating. We take that 8 and turn it sideways, and that's an infinite sign. That's how we build. Because we build on knowledge, which is infinite. And therefore, our understanding, which is the manifestation or high manifestation of knowledge, is infinite because they're one and the same. Like Father and Son. And like we was talking about today, life and substance. Because matter is nothing but energy in its lowest form. Everything is life and consciousness. And we're living life in 120 degrees. We just our age. Some learn it in 90 degrees. That's that Mason. They the ones perfect to go in the square. But we be in our square in the cipher, because we are universal. We're not human beings. We are what? The supreme being, black man from Asia, right? We are citizens of the universe. So now it's culture. I just want people to know that the culture's here every second Sunday of the month. 581 Mother Gaston Boulevard, second floor. It's a beautiful place. Just the atmosphere brings you into knowledge of your culture. Very fine here. You know? Anybody that came here, it'll show you that the effects of the surroundings, you know, was definitely felt in a positive way. That people will go to visit the pyramids and different structures in Egypt, and they go in, they feel the effect of the atmosphere. That's how you feel here. Brownsville Heritage House, second Sunday every month. There's no excuses, because it's time to build. We're going to have classes for the children, keep saying it. But we have a room next door that's finished, and we're ready for them. Because we must teach our own. We cannot depend on other people anymore, especially for food, clothing, and shelter. Because any people that depend on other people for food, clothing, and shelter will never be free. And how we're going to get what we need is through the knowledge itself, because the knowledge got everything for us. Everything around you comes from the knowledge. And we ain't going to get nowhere unless we put it into practice. It's a funny thing about this knowledge, though, because it can build or destroy. Because generations that come behind us are not equal or greater, which is the prediction, that the next generation will be greater than the last. But as I've been coming around these rallies and parliaments, I see the young haven't got like we had, the fervor, the energy, you know what I'm saying, the excitement of having knowledge itself, the spark of life, you know, of mastering that dumb stuff they taught us, and still continue to teach daily. They're teaching now some wild stuff, queer theory, and all this homosexual taking off your body parts stuff called transsexual. You know, we have to learn from mistakes, but some mistakes you never can learn from. Because you take your body part off, that's it. We are under attack. It's a war of the minds. And we got to get in consciousness and acknowledge their culture, which is knowledge yourself. Peace. Hey, somebody else speak. That's my knowledge culture for the day. That's your knowledge culture? I got to answer it. You know, the first thing you come into these doors of knowledge, understanding, you change your dietary. Because quiet is kept, health is wealth. That's the first thing you change coming into knowledge itself. And you will see an improvement in yourself when you change and have a proper diet. That's number one. Also, our thinking is backwards. It's very bad. With all the bad things we say is good, and the good things we say is bad. We're a backward people. We're a subjugated people to even having the religion of our conquerors. I ask black people, how can you have the same religion as the Ku Klux Klan?
Yeah.
They say, well, it's different. Well, it's the same cross, it's the same Jesus. I don't know. It's the same book. What's different? And you got the same white Jesus in the
They love God. They love their God.
This is what it does for you. Make you see what it is, things really is, and not what they appear to be.
They was conditioned. They can't help themselves. They love their God. They love their culture. They give for their culture. What are we giving for our culture?
You're talking about the church, a lot of the church. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can see some of the things. Look at that in the desert. What's his name? Flake.
Reverend Floyd Flake.
Yeah, but look at all what he does.
Right.
So, you know, we don't bear witness to the teachers, just 10%, right?
Right.
Which many of them do, the 85% does.
You get credit to it.
But they can bear witness to not just what he said, they can bear testimony and bear witness to what they see. Tangible things, what he has created, what he's doing.
Right.
You know, so now, bring that back
To us,
to us.
what are we doing for the community?
What can they see? You know what I'm saying?
See us out front getting high? Oh, no, I'm just joking on
No,
that.
but you know what I'm saying? No, what can they see? That's a good job. Coming from us, something that's tangible, you know, something just says, look at what they got, you know, something attractive. You ever heard the saying, you build it and that comes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I like teachers. Peace.
25.
Do I have a phone? No, damn time.